What ho? Good
Howdy.
evening. Howdy indeed. How's it going?
Oh, not bad. Looks like Vegas. Nope, they're still at intermission.
Still,
I think. No,
it's
they've come back
no,
from
no,
intermission.
it's
I think they were just showing a replay though.
12:46 in the third. The Knights are 3-2 up.
Yep,
In a
with
series,
Mark Stone injured
is he? Oh,
and out. He went out in the first period. No, this
that's
time
such
I
a
actually
shame.
give it. This time I actually give a crap because I needed Mark Stone to have 2 shots tonight in my bed. So
okay,
he got 1 before he went out injured in the first period.
So is this him prepping for LTIR for next season?
Probably.
It's getting it in early.
It didn't look like anything that could be serious, but they're calling it upper body.
In some ways, I would have preferred him to be playing because I really, although I can't stand both teams, I think I'd really prefer Vegas not to lose to the Oilers, if I could put it that way.
Yeah, I'd like Edmonton out.
Yes, so it's like the worst of both worlds. You know, the red button meme. Oh my God, which one did I press?
Yep.
Who do I want to lose most?
But
So
Edmonton up 2-0 in the series. Need Vegas to win this one.
Well, they've got, well, basically they got to win the next 2. They got to get their home. They make up for losing their home games. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
get
just
it
ridiculous.
reset back to 0.
Yeah, but they're winning 3-2 right now. But that's a series in which goaltending has been optional, I think.
A little bit. Well,
like,
this is the first game Skinner's been back.
Yeah.
For Edmonton, I think they Pickard got hurt last game and like the late in the third period. I think maybe in the second period. I've watched most of the games, but not as intently as I would. So
I've been watching just the roundups on most of them.
Yeah.
Obviously, other apart from the Stars ones, but I wish I'd just. Well, I wasn't really watching the Stars game because we were on Comics Division, so I'm glad I wasn't paying close attention to that one.
It was pretty ugly.
It was ugly, but we always have an ugly one, and we got the split. So what can I? Can't really complain about that too much. But yes, good evening,
You
everybody.
also handed Hellebuck a shutout, which may have been exactly what Hellebuck needed to get going.
He's not good away from home, so we'll see. To be fair, it wasn't a great matchup for us. I think we weren't good against them all regular season, so it's
like I was saying last week, I just don't know that you guys put enough shots on Hellebuck to
nowhere
really
near
do anything.
And
could be an issue.
We're basically playing with Rantanen and Johnston playing well.
Rantanen was atrocious last night.
He was, but I mean, after the few games he'd had before, I mean, somebody else has to take something on occasionally. But we've got a great PK, and that's about it. So the rest is kind of like meh. So unless and if when they decide they don't want to turn up, that makes it even worse. So, but I'm not going to knock him because he had 2 or 3 or 4
2 hat tricks.
2 hat tricks in a row. So, yeah, I think he deserved a night off. I mean, there's lots of other missing in action players have taken the entire playoffs off. So
you better just hope he doesn't go back to being lazy, Rantanen.
Well, we'll see. But I mean, at least our ex player Logan Stankoven's doing all right because the Canes won 4-0 against the Caps to take a 2-1 lead that series. I think the Canes are going to win that one. Yeah.
I think it'll be Canes Panthers, and then it'll just be anybody's game for the East.
I was starting to get a bit worried though and I'm sure Mike is getting excited that the Leafs won the first two games, of course.
Right.
I was thinking, well, I mean, it was close. They were close, but I thought, here we go. And they are literally planning the parade already in Toronto. All the Toronto media, they were holding up the route and planning the parade.
For getting past the second round?
Yeah. They won 2 games and they started planning the parade because, hey, that was against last year's winners.
Yeah.
Funny stuff. Hey, hail Tim. Well, yeah, good evening, everybody. You got Mike, Darren, Tim, Crimlon,
Dr.
Dr. Jones,
Jones,
would like to join us some night. So I'm sure we've got a few weeks
Real
to go.
Wade
So
Nation.
Real White Nation, yeah. Welcome to all of you. Thank you for being here. It's great. There's much more relaxed. There's less games to talk about. So,
Yeah,
and I'm
there's
sure.
mostly just clips of referees being horrible at their jobs
Oh God, some
from the
awful
playoffs
stuff.
so far. It's been a bad playoff year. It's funny because I would love to just pull up beautiful goals and huge hits. I've got a
Mm.
couple of huge hits, but I mean the goals.
That's enough about
There's
the
not
Stars
been
bench.
a bunch of spectacular goals. There's been just
Some okay ones.
everyday
Yeah,
goals.
yeah.
But the refs missing calls seems to be or making the wrong call seems to be the biggest thing going right now.
Oh, some dreadful stuff. Dreadful. I don't know. I mean, we say it every year. I mean, oh, is this the worst it's ever been? But this year just seemed like the worst it's ever
It's
been.
noticeably bad this year.
Yeah. I, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but anyway, better referees, I guess. But I guess it's the generation that are coming through now. The current generation of referees. This is where the problem is.
I don't know. In that final Avs Stars game, it was freaking Wes McCauley, who used to be my favorite ref and now is my most hated.
And he's the most experienced. Yeah. So you get the Buffalo
Yeah,
Trace.
Buffalo
He's
Trace, and I'll probably also have a touch of Saz because I got two gigantic bottles of both of them.
oh right. You're going to be absolutely sazzed after that. I get the Bakers tonight. I'm trying to finish this bottle.
Nice.
Yeah. So cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
I see Corey Perry's got 2 goals tonight, though.
Yeah, he was on Hattie watch in the first period, but
Yeah.
then Vegas came back and scored 2 goals in 54 seconds to tie it back up. And then
Yeah.
Vegas took the lead.
But yeah, Corey Perry, 78-year-old threat. Or
Yes,
whatever age he is
there's
now.
only 5 players in the playoffs who have more goals than him at this point.
Yeah.
And one of those is
Rantanen.
Rantanen.
One of them's Rantanen. I don't know if it's Ovechkin. Has he got more? He's not a big
I
playoff
don't think
scorer.
so. Ovechkin really hasn't shown up yet,
No,
has he?
he's not a big playoff scorer. As such. I'm trying to think who the others would be.
It was a graphic that they had flashed up
Yeah.
during the game.
So Dr. Jones was saying he was in Vegas for game 2.
Game 2.
Game 2. Vegas is a strange hockey culture. It does. Well, we were there. Brahma and I were there, and it was indeed strange. Very strange.
Yes. We're surrounded by a whole bunch of Vegas hockey fans and Brad Garrett from
Brad
Everybody
Garrett.
Loves Raymond.
Why didn't we take a video of that? I still don't know.
I don't think he would have done a video for random people on the street.
Maybe not. I don't know. Well, just told hey, no, it was a weird one, but it was the prices that stunned me. It was just the cost of everything. What a ripoff.
Well, that's Vegas.
Yeah, wasn't even
That's
enough.
Vegas in general.
Didn't even see enough breasts to make up for it.
I remember back when Vegas used to be a place where they basically gave you everything for free as
Yeah,
long as you were spending
you
time in the
gambled.
casino. And now everything costs more than anywhere else. I mean, about
Yeah.
the only place you can eat there at just normal prices is like Chipotle. Because even the McDonald's is ridiculous.
Well,
On the strip, of course.
On the strip, yeah. I mean, I went if you go just north of the strip above the, so is it the Sahara? I can't remember the one at the top of the monorail. There's a McDonald's there, which is normal price just over the street, although you do have to wade through hundreds of homeless people to get to it, which is
Yeah.
another problem.
Oh, I found the list. So it's Rantanen, McKinnon, uh, Nylander, and Svechnikov
Okay,
are the
yeah, the
only
4.
players with more goals than Perry.
Well, Perry will play for another 20 years, so you might get a few more.
With that group, he might.
Yeah, Klingberg is actually playing okay for Edmonton, which is interesting. He's not playing badly, let's put it that way. I like Klinger. He's a good lad.
Well,
So
where
shall
do
we
we want
look?
to start tonight?
Well, I think we'll show our.
The series?
I know there's still a game on, but I don't think it matters to our bracket. So let's take a look at the bracket. So it's got the ranked here, but that's ranked by total points to date, which will have no bearing on the end result, which is maximum possible points. There's
Unless
going to be some
everybody's dead
wild,
wrong.
yeah, there's going to be some wild differences. So Smokey is top, but he is the Avs, and he's only got a maximum of 207 possible points. So I'm sorry, Smokey, I don't think you're going to make it. Um, Bell, Southern Bell, currently in third with 69 points, with a maximum possible of 369.
She
And she probably,
technically has the strongest
yeah,
down the road bracket.
yeah, so she's actually got the most points that can be gained. And right enough, she's got now where she may fall down a little is in the Caps side, but I mean that doesn't matter. Florida make the final for her,
Right.
so Bell's looking pretty good. She even got a couple of the numbers of games right. She did have the Kings though, which I had too. She had the Kings and the Avs, but that she still has potential conference finals correct. So good for you, Bell. I wonder how
Very
many goals
nice.
she said is the tiebreaker. 62.
It's a
She
lot.
should have said
We
69.
talked about it last week.
Yeah, it should have been 69s all the way.
We averaged like 35, and then there was that one.
So I think the next most potential points, the chat are actually doing pretty well. The chat bracket is doing well. Kings again was the downfall, but they're still hanging in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, chat bracket's not looking too bad. I
And I
don't know
can't
if
find
anybody.
my bracket anywhere now.
Yeah, if you could find yours, I want to see what yours looks like. So that was the chat of potentially 341. Mike DiCarlo. Yeah, I know we know you're there, Mike. We know you're in the chat. 356 potential points.
That's like second to Bill.
Yeah, just behind Bell with a Vegas Leafs final. Yeah. But yes, so those are the ones to look for because I'm done. I mean, I've only got maximum maximum possible 159. I'm completely blown already, as the actress said to the bishop, or bishop said to the actress.
Well,
So
the Avs kind of ruined mine and yours. So,
yeah,
and mine,
um,
I cannot get it to pull up. I think it's logged in under my other login, and every time I click login, it just auto logs me in with the most recent login,
yeah.
which is not the right login.
No, I've got like 4 logins for it. uh,
But it
so
doesn't bring up like a login screen. It just says, "Oh, we've got it saved."
yeah,
It
Tim is
just logged
also
me in.
well, indeed. Tim has also got a potential 318 points with a
With
final
the
Jets Leafs
all
final,
Canada
all
Final
Canuck
Four.
final, making Mark Carney's heart soar with excitement. Not the Oilers though. Carney wouldn't want the Oilers to win because they're from Alberta, so that's no good. Can't have that. Well,
And
I
the
mean,
tiebreaker of 15 goals in the
50,
final.
I don't think that's going to happen. Tim had an all Canadian conference finals as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all Canadian Final Four is what I was
All
saying. Yeah,
Canadian all the way. Yeah.
of course, one of those is already out.
One of those is already out, indeed. They gave it a good effort, but they're out. So I think I'm actually got the least possible points. So I'll probably end up bottom of this.
Yeah, mine would be similar.
Yeah. And then the only one we can't really see is somebody else
Pasco
that did.
scenario.
Basco scenario didn't. Yeah, if you look at the members, Basco scenario also submitted his bracket to the general NHL one. So Basco, if you're ever out there, you're going to have to email us a picture of it at some point or DM us a picture. So thank you
Eh,
everyone that's
just
taking
at the
part.
end.
There's still, yeah. So we still have a lot of potential cup winners in there. So we shall see. Hey. So that must be WG.
Yep, WG for $20. 4 Canes drink.
Hey, they're looking good. In fact, I've got a couple of goals, so we'll play those now. Just saying hello to a couple of people. So let's we'll check in the so there's 4:31 to go in the third, and the VGK are 3-2 up still. So yeah, thanks WG for that.
Oh, we're gonna have to have an
Yeah.
interesting talk after we go through the series too, because I had a big argument with my daughter yesterday
Oh really?
about the Utah team.
Oh well, yes. So we have indeed the Utah Mammoth is the name. Of course, I immediately said Fleetwood Mac. If they don't use Mac's Tusk as their theme music, they're missing an empty net. But then there were some snarky emails from the Colorado Mammoth
Who
DMs or
have
messages.
always had a thing about
Yeah,
tusks. So yeah, they can't
yeah,
take everything from the other mammoth team in another league. But
yeah.
so here was my point, and it's a thing that's been happening just in the past few teams that have come in. Why is it the Utah Mammoth? I know it
Hmm.
would sound stupid if it was the Utah Mammoths, but in almost all there are so many other teams all have the S at the end of it. The Oilers, the Red Wings. The ones that don't are like the Avalanche, where it's a force of nature, not a animal.
No,
It's
that's
the St.
interesting.
Louis Cardinals. It's the New
The
York Giants,
Montreal Canadiens.
the
Well, they've got an
Canadiens,
S. Well,
the
they've got an
Maple
S.
Leaves.
Yeah.
I do not like
Panthers.
this new thing of
Lightning. I don't have an S.
uh,
Lightning.
even if it was Yeti, it was going to be the Utah Yeti, not the Yetis. So I don't
But
like it.
so you
she
want
she
S's?
says, well, it sounds right if you say Utah Mammoth. It's like, but any other thing that's named after an animal, for the most part, it's the plural of the animal because
So
you're
what?
a team.
But is there a plural for mammoth? Is mammoths the plural?
Mammoths, yes, there used to live woolly mammoths.
Okay. And yetis. That's true. So yes, plural should have. Are there any plurals of anything that don't have an S at the end?
I don't know.
No, I don't
I
know
don't
either.
know what the plural of kraken is, but I don't like that the Kraken name
Couldn't.
themselves the Kraken
So
instead of
there's
the
singular
Krakens.
kraken.
If you're going to come up with a weird mascot, then you should make it sound correct with the plural either way.
Is that your main objection to them though, or is it the fact they're using the Colorado mammoths
No, my
name?
objection is using a singular about an animal when you're describing a team because nobody used to do it that way. The
So
Bears,
I
the
think
Bulls, the
yeah.
Cardinals, the Stars, the Oilers. I don't like this singular thing. And
So
I don't know where it started, but the last two teams that have come in, well, yeah, I guess last two teams that have come in, the Kraken and the mammoth.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fan. And it's in every sport that they typically use the
The
plural.
jazz. No.
So it may not, well, jazz is
I
a
know. It's, I mean,
music style. So you wouldn't,
I'm just being
but
funny. Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, I don't know if it's bothering anybody else, but it bothers me.
Yeah. Well, there's
You know
Dr.
what
Jones.
really grinds my gears? You
Gears. The
know,
Chicago Cub, the Florida Panther.
right? I
Yeah.
mean, sure, it doesn't sound correct, and that's my daughter's whole point. Is well, Utah Mammoth sounds correct over mammoths, but it's like I don't know. Everything else is pluralized. So
Pluralized. Pluralized. So,
unless it's a
uh,
force of nature, even
uh,
Indians, Braves, they're all plural. Anything that is doing a team.
so you're basically objecting on grammar grounds.
I don't know.
You're objecting.
I guess
You're
because
you're
it is.
formally presenting a grammar objection to Utah.
I guess it would be.
I would just object to them just to the fact that they're from Utah, and that's it.
I mean, that's what they should have done. What WG said. The Utah Mooses,
Mooses.
and just had them be called the Utah
But
Meese.
now isn't that an example of a plural? Isn't moose the plural of moose?
I don't
Does
know.
anybody really say mooses? Look at all those moose.
Over
It's
there.
like geese. Yeah. Look at all those geese.
Well, geese is the plural of goose.
Is that? Oh, that's true. So you'd look at that goose, it would be the
That's
Utah
why it used
goose.
to be the old joke of moose and meese.
There's a moose loose about this hoose. Well, that
The
certainly
plural
got
of
me
moose
thinking.
was meese because of goose and geese.
But finally, but at least they've finally settled on a name. I actually quite like. A lot of people were criticizing the logo. I think it's quite good. I don't mind. But they
I think
have
they
to
had a chance to do something with some fresh new colors, and they went very monochromatic,
white and blue, washed out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's my old, and I still have at least 2 jerseys with this guy's name in them. Logan Stankoven. There's a couple of clips for WG here, as he was so
The
kind.
meese was a joke, Darren.
He's a lovely little guy.
Little tiny stanky.
Little stanky.
By the way, we've got no audio.
Oh, is it doing that thing again? Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus. Every time I fire up the computer, it resets all my settings. I'll try it again. Anyway, we've seen that one. But yeah, well done to Stank. I think he had another good night tonight as well. Didn't score. I think he got some assists. And he even managed to get into a fight with Tom Wilson at some point. So well done, Stank. I did have another one here, which was Svechnikov. That was it. Scoring tonight, I think. Straight off the face.
I believe so. It was right at the beginning of the period, or the
almost
game.
Straight off the face off. Well, it was.
Yep.
Unassisted. That's what you want from a face-off.
How was it unassisted? If so, did
somebody else touched it?
Did his player not win the face-off? Nope.
He did win. What? Yes, so it's not unassisted.
I would think Aho would get a assist for that because he took the face-off and slipped it through.
Indeed. So WG for $20. I think
on
the
your
Utah
channel this time.
In my channel. Thank you, WG. I think the Utah logo is a bit EA Sports-ish, but okay overall. Stanky was also looking great tonight. He was feisty as well. He's getting, oh, sorry, wrong clip. He's very feisty at the end of the game for various reasons. It's funny because he's so little. It wasn't Wilson he was fighting as old McMichael.
Yeah.
Wilson saying, "Yeah, I'm staying out of this one. I've done my bit."
And right at the end of the game tonight, Martinook took a full slapper off of his leg.
Oh right,
Looked like
geez.
it hurt.
Broken shins.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame they're not showing the actual bust up here. Just some of the. Yeah, well played, Stank. Oh, here we go. So McMichael slashes Stankoven and tries to get back up when the ref's like, "No, keep out of this. Keep out. The linesman, get out of this." I like that though. He's not just because he's little. He can't be pushed around.
Stankoven's not even big enough to get the ref to, get off
That's
of him.
right. Yeah. The only other thing I had from that series was Tom Wilson stealing Aho's mouthguard, which I think is. But players have been asking for this. They're always skating around with the mouthguard hanging out.
Right.
Aho never has his mouth guard in his mouth, so Wilson just snaps it out of his mouth. Just. What a gesture of sportsmanship he gave it back to him. He took his mouth guard away from Aho.
He was asking for that. Really.
And then the refs come in and separate him, so he has to skate back over and give it back to him afterwards.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know if it's just me. I hate them chewing on the mouth guards. They're hanging out of the mouth. As soon as they're on the bench, they start chewing on them. I get it.
Doesn't bother me.
I don't know. It bugs me now. I can't not see it now. So that
They've
was
done it forever.
That was for UWG. Some highlights from that series. What else? What else have we got?
Oh, I've got a whole slew of them, but it's all the same stuff. So we should do them back to back to back, just giving examples of bad refereeing.
Go for it.
All
it's
right.
a big point.
Let me get it set up.
It's a big bone of contention, and normally there's always referee aggro, but this time it seems worse than ever.
Well, since we already had stuff from that series, we'll start with one from that series. This one is a high stick. I know you had this one as well. Jordan Stahl gets called for a high stick, but in reality, it's not even Vegas scored.
Well, I don't know if it was Vegas. I think it might have been the Oilers. I've got it 3 each.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was the Oilers.
With 0.4 seconds.
Yeah. Pretty sure it's McDavid.
Nope. Now I'm showing Vegas.
Is it going 4-3 now?
4-3. Final.
Oh, that's why. Okay, yeah. Right. Sorry. Beg your pardon. I saw the 3-3. I didn't see the 4-3. Wow. Well, they put time back on the clock. Okay. Right.
Yeah, they had the graphic all screwed up. But yeah, let's transition this.
What an end to the game.
Another very late scored goal to bring a game to an end. Or, I mean, a couple teams have done it to push it to a tie. But all right, so Stahl gets called for the high stick. But if you watch, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I had this one, yeah. It's his own player,
Capitals player, it's friendly fire. The refs still call it a high stick on Jordan Stahl.
I know, and Martinook or whoever it is behind the bench is going nuts. Quite rightly.
So that's a horrible wrong call. Here's the one with Stolarz.
Training staff were by the concussion spotter.
The hit from Bennett, elbow to the head of the goalie.
Oh, the elbow.
No call. He also ended up going over to the bench about 2 minutes later and was puking all over the bench, which is a significant indicator of a major head
concussion
problem. I don't know how he did not get pulled out of the game to be checked for concussion after that hit to the head. And then he ended up going out on a stretcher to the hospital. But yeah, that's a no call. Meanwhile, this is called goaltender interference.
The blue paint. Watch this move from the outside toe drag. He's had some chances and throws this backhand. Now
I know, he was shoved right into him.
And then he makes
Directly
some
into
contact
him.
with Hill with his right hip. But this is the bump by Howden that sends him into Aiden Hill. I don't like this call at all. This is a bad call.
It's a bad,
in a game like this.
It's goaltender interference on
but the penalty has been called. They're not
on
taking
Edmonton
it back in a power
because
play here. A critical
he got
one for the
tackled
Vegas
by
Golden Knights.
Vegas Knight into
into
goal.
the goalie. Yeah. What the hell is he supposed to do?
Yeah.
We've seen a few of those though. I mean, that's a bad one. Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
still
that
seeing...
one's pretty egregious though.
Oh, they finally they finally updated the score on the NHL site.
They finally got it fixed.
Finally fixed
Even on
it,
TV,
yeah.
it was showing the wrong score. It was
I'm gonna
weird.
We'll dig out that clip while you're showing these. I'm going to see if I can find a clip.
Okay, so this one, Evan Rodriguez gets plastered into the glass.
And just the hit from behind on the numbers. You can see, watch his face as it goes up. Yeah, he goes in.
Pretty
goes
legit
down,
hit, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Rodriguez gets called for embellishment.
Oh, I know. I mean, come on.
They call this embellishment.
Even if they'd not called anything, that would have been better.
Guy hits him in the numbers going into the wall. Technically, it's boarding.
Well, it is.
I don't know how you get embellishment out of that crap.
How did they go to embellishment? I mean, it's just... It's nuts.
It's insane.
And
then the last one I've got is the missed trip by Arvidsson in overtime that left McNabb injured, which McNabb did come back today to play, I believe. So
I hope this isn't bad. You hate to see these kinds of injuries.
But this was a no call.
Went down
He
right
gets
away. It like
can openered directly into the
wall.
wall.
Oh god, yeah, tripped all
into the boards.
What a trip.
Edmonton very fortunate they weren't penalized.
I'm still looking for this clip.
If you're an Oiler fan, you have to say
no call.
You were fortunate there, especially after Frederick
Jesus, yeah, there's some terrible. It's not like these things can't... Well, can they review? You can't review a no call, can you?
No.
No.
But
No
keep
call
in
is a no
mind,
call.
this is all just from this round. The current round, round 2. I'm not even going back to the other round and pulling stuff. It's been hard to watch with the refs being this bad. So those are all the bad or blown calls by the refs this week that I was able to dig up because
I might have...
It's pretty egregious.
I had some of those, and I'm not sure if I've got other ones, but that was... And you just shake your head and you think, what the hell are they thinking, you know?
Yeah, and of course, none of these are my team because I'm going only with this round.
And then there's things like, players get fined. Somebody got fined. I don't know if it was a Vegas player or somebody. And they got fined for something that other players have had 2-match suspensions for.
Right.
So
like the cross checks to the jaw.
What's that was probably it. What's the criteria that judges the difference between a $7,500 fine and a 2-match suspension?
Yeah.
So here's the goal from the Vegas game. It's pretty blurry, but hopefully it's okay.
Carlson able to skate it out of the zone. William Carlson with 7 will chip it down the boards. There's nobody to help him. A centering.
Here we go.
Here's Riley Smith. Wade shoots.
Holy shit.
He hit the post at the buzzer.
Oh, that's why they took
Did
their
they have
time
to review it?
Yeah.
Carlson able to skate it out of the zone. William Carlson with 7 will chip it down the boards. There's nobody to help him. A centering feet. Here's Riley Smith. Wade.
There's the puck.
Shoots, hit the post. Oh, he hit the post.
The light came on pretty quick.
So this is it from above, though.
It's a goal. That'll stick. And then off the camera.
Oh yeah,
it went all the way in and
yeah.
out.
That's it. No, yeah, hit the camera.
There.
After it's a goal. At 0.4, the puck completely crossed the line. Goal.
Wow. You believe
I love the Oilers fans booing. What they booing for? It's a goal. We saw it cross the line after review, but you know what? It's a home game, so we're good.
It's clearly in the goal, but boo that we took a look at it.
Yeah. Oh, that's a goal, all right. But 0.4 seconds. I don't know if that's any kind of record, but that's incredible. That's incredible.
No, I'm pretty sure there's been 0.1 and 0.2.
Yeah, probably.
I think during the bubble year, Nazem Kadri had that one goal that was literally like 0.01.
0.01, yeah. It was probably against Dallas.
I think it was. It was the one on his knees right at the end of the game. It was either the Dallas series or it was the series before that.
That is nuts. Well, that's a way to win a game. So they've got one. They've pulled one back, Vegas. I want them to, regardless of outcome, I want them to go to 7 games with triple overtime, but each game. But so
I'm fine with each Canadian team getting taken out one by one.
So it's true, though. I mean, here's McDavid has done some stuff for once. He has done some stuff.
Flat foot right here, outside, inside. You're not going to slow down McDavid. Sells the shot. Boom. What a pass over.
So you got to admit that pair is working right now.
Mm-hmm.
Love them or loathe them.
Nav was just saying Draisaitl was pretty productive.
Oh yeah. So I think I had what is this one? Oh, I think didn't we show it? Did you show this? Sorry, this is the
puck comes up in the
cross check to the face.
No.
That's the one they got a $7,500 fine for, I think.
Yeah.
Or did he even get that? I don't know.
Which also happened in the Dallas-Colorado series. Almost the exact same cross-check to the face.
Well, it was Jamie Benn, though, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you get it? Jamie Benn's old. His reactions are so slow. He doesn't. It's like the Joe Biden of hockey. Come on, he has no idea what he's doing.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. What do you mean I'm playing?
I can't see that far.
But that was a bad one. That was a bad one.
Because Frederick is cut. He's bleeding.
That's pretty bad. Look at it from this angle. Oh, the pillar gets
the real question is, like, he's acting like he's going for the puck because the puck is floating right up at face level. It's like, what was your plan?
Yeah.
What were you going to do if you hit the puck?
Get the puck up. What you do? Just go like this to it?
It's like, no, I wasn't trying to hit him in the face. I was trying to get the puck out of the air. Right. Crazy.
I think is this the one you showed the into the boards? Yeah, you showed that.
Trip into the boards. The can opener.
Yeah. And then I do like this. I mean, I have to admit this is funny. It's as the McDavid to Draisaitl. This is the same one, but just like the title, Eichel is roadkill. I think it's the same clip. Yeah, it is, yeah. Eichel's total roadkill. Which is always funny. Yeah. Anyway. So that pretty much sums up that series. There's some action in it. I have to say there's been some action in that series.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to do it, though. I do have some clips from Game 1 of the Stars Jets. I don't have any from Game 2, funnily enough.
I've got one clip of DeMello.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that I was avoiding them. I just didn't get around to clipping them. They're not in my Twitter feed as much.
There wasn't much from yesterday's game that you would be clipping.
Yeah. No.
Not from the Stars, at least.
But I got to give credit to Rantanen. I mean, 2 games in a row with hat tricks, all in the same period, all in one period in each game. Just even if he doesn't keep that up, which he didn't yesterday, it's still something.
Low in the offensive zone and
I hate this commentary team.
I hate
not him, but her. The woman.
National.
The woman is terrible. I don't know who she is.
And from a prone position, he used that long
She's commentating on chess or something, I think.
I also love that they decided to use our play calls for Rantanen. Now that he's in Dallas, the Moose is loose was what our radio guy used to say every time he scored.
Yeah. The thing is, I never hear these because I sync it up with the ticket from Dallas with the Dallas team.
Yeah.
That does the TV, Josh and Razor. So I never hear these until I get these.
Well, for
hopes
the
and pass
first
on luck,
round,
but give
I was still
Santino a
able to
lot of
watch it on
credit for starting
altitude,
this
except for Game
offensive
7.
zone play.
So I
do.
had our local announcers for the first round.
Yeah. Well, we had that for the first round, but then that's gone now. But so you
Yeah,
have to
it's
sync
gone
up the
once you get
radio.
into the second round.
Yeah. Now this is I like this one. This was the second goal he scored, but I just like the guy's headline to this. He says Rantanen's going to get so popular in Dallas, the Mavs might try to trade him because Dallas Mavericks traded their best player,
Right.
Doncic,
Luka
Luka Doncic.
Doncic,
So there's
or whatever
this
his
guy
name
says
is.
the Mavs might try to trade Rantanen.
Right. I did. Now I understand what Superior Nav has been saying. So that final goal, I finally got to see some actual good footage of it instead of the blurry footage. So the puck just goes directly off of Draisaitl's stick into the goal for that final goal.
Oh, neat. That's even better. That's even sweeter.
Once again, here's a Rantanen shift with it on off and steal.
So this was Rantanen's second goal.
Here's Harley to the net.
Nice tip.
There's actually been a lot of own goals in this playoffs.
Well, there's been about 2 every game the Stars have been in. But this was a tip in from Rantanen tipped it in.
Yep.
And it froze. So
And it froze for me too.
froze at just the right point. And then the third one that night. I mean, I wasn't expecting this. I thought we were gonna, because we had a terrible season against the Jets in Winnipeg. Terrible. But so to get a split is pretty good for us. But this was his third one. This was his hat trick again.
Rantanen in front, score! Rantanen again! It's a hat trick in Winnipeg.
That's Rantanen from his usual spot.
Usual spot. Those girls are waiting for you.
The only green in a sea of white.
There wasn't much green in there, I have to say. There was 1 or 2, but not much. So they're doing the white out thing, of course.
Yeah, I've always liked the white out. I liked it. I liked it when San Jose used to do it.
Yeah, they're pretty passionate.
Full white out down there.
I can't fault their passion, you know. However, I think my favorite clip was from later in the game when we were defending that lead. This is just this is Dallas Stars defending at the moment. It's chaos. But the bit that's great about this is the linesman. Watch the linesman. I don't know if there's any audio to this. So this is just mental chaos. And then he comes up and he actually has to go up on the net and look to see where the puck is. It's just great. Look at this.
I'm surprised the skates don't cut the net.
Yeah, I would have thought so, but yeah.
When you hop up on there like that.
This, just look at that from above. That is just crazy.
Yep.
Esa Lindell saved 2 goals in that sequence alone. Just
got 2
never
blocks.
mind Ottinger. Lindell saved them. They're getting very intimate with each other. Let's put it that way. That's current Dallas Stars defending. It worked, but
yeah,
it was a referee, not linesman. Yeah.
I do have one from last series, since the series technically did leak a little bit into this week, so it also has to do with Winnipeg. So this was a men's league is playing a game, but on the board they've got the St. Louis Winnipeg game going.
Oh, that's funny.
So this was when Winnipeg tied up the game.
They're not
with
paying attention to their own game.
6 seconds left.
They're not paying attention to their own game. Man. It's crazy. And then the ref,
even the referee is jumping up and down, going crazy.
It's hilarious. I saw that. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, men's league in Winnipeg.
None of them are paying attention to their own game.
They probably had stopped their own game to watch for a second.
Oh, yeah. I love it. He jumps
I do have one clip from your team, so we'll play this real quick too, because I've got 2 total clips left, but this one's from your team.
keep his man pinned in the corner. Tackling.
Yeah, oh, this was funny. Yeah.
Should be a penalty roughing. He's going to send them
Like a
both.
rabid Wolverine just all over him.
Yeah, show it again. I want to see that again. That was funny.
DeMello now is trying to keep his man pinned in the corner. Tackling.
I think there's something sexual in all of that. I don't know what it is. But...
roughing. He's going to send them both.
I have no idea. And I really don't know how Dallas got a roughing call on that for being completely molested.
Well,
I mean,
it was kind of like that all night, though. The Jets were all over every player, wrestling them to the ice, and nothing was getting called. I'm not complaining about the rest because
I mean, if you caught DeMello's face, I mean, he looked rabid. It was funny.
Yeah, and I'm not complaining about the rest in that game because we had some terrible penalties given away. We've got this thing. I think we've got magnets on our sticks that just keep hitting faces.
Yeah.
That one was the one I thought, why was that a penalty against it?
You guys commit a high stick for every time that Marchment got hit in the face by a puck this year.
Yeah. You know what? He hit in the face by a puck and it made him look better.
He got hit with a puck like 7 times in the face this year.
Well, the one time he got hit and he was out for weeks, he broke 17 bones or something.
Yeah.
But he still looks like a cross between Errol Flynn and Clark Gable at the end of the day. But without the acting, well, he has got the acting skills, that's true.
And then for my last clip, I do have one fun hit just because we like seeing it happen every now and then.
We do.
So it's not a huge hit, but it's old man on old man. So we got Brent Burns hitting Ovi.
Oh,
taking him for a full ride.
You can hear the hips breaking from here.
Yeah. Little 8-on-8 violence.
Meanwhile, at the seniors' home, that's my Twinkie.
Yep. It's like the ghost of Big Joe Thornton is out there just hitting old men on the ice.
Yeah. So let's, for Mike, if Mike's still there, and I hope he is, let's show some. I've got a few from the Leafs Panthers, not the ones we've seen before, but here's at least I don't think we've seen them. This is it's a little bit of a stramash, and it's Bennett and Domi.
Yeah.
Bennett got the jump.
The Bald and the Beautiful. Now that could have been an epic fight if it hadn't gone down. If they hadn't gone down to the ice so early, that was shaping up to be epic.
Playoff series when he KO'd Matthew Nyes in Game 2.
I like Domi actually. He had a brief spell with us last year at the trade deadline. He's a good guy.
I've not liked many of the Domies, or any of the Domies.
I mean, I say good guy. I mean, he's a trier.
When he's on your team.
Yes. We had the embellishment call, and we had the elbow. I think we've seen all these. I'm running out of clips, but that was one for.
I'm still so completely baffled by that embellishment call. It's like the guy got his face smashed into the glass. Where the hell do you get embellishment?
You see it from that angle really well. Look at that.
He goes in and goes down, and that's the.
I guess he threw himself into the boards.
Yeah. I guess they thought him laying on the ice was a bit too much. He should have just gotten right back up.
Yeah, that's almost everything I've got, other than the fact that I don't think we showed this last week. This was the Stars, and I wanted to show this because Landeskog talked about it a lot, but it's still an epic comeback, and it remains to be seen how good he could be next year, and hopefully he's a full operator. But the respect
we had our end of year press conference, and that was one of the things that they were most excited about. That they still were a bit stung by the going out in the first round, but they were happy that they know exactly where the salary cap situation will be with Landeskog next year because they know he's back and will be playing. So
Yeah.
that'll be a big relief for the
I think
Avalanche.
it's
It's
gonna be
been
incredible. Yeah.
3 seasons or 2 seasons of just question mark all year long.
Well, it's like a new signing, a new major signing. So good for
of your captain.
Indeed. I like Superior now. Ovi and Brent Burns are the same age. Like they're not both 48. But yeah, Mike, do you have any Matthews clips? No, wait, he can't hit a barn door right now. Yeah, he's not exactly carrying the team, but
no, I can't even get Matthews to register shots on goals for prop bets.
But this was neat, and it was mic'd up. Landeskog was mic'd up. And this was in the line at the end, and it was nice.
Good job, Benny. Great job. Go get him. Go get him, man.
He's such a great guy, Landeskog. Nobody doesn't like him.
Good luck. Good luck, man. Great to see you back. Appreciate it. Hey, good to see you. Genuinely happy for you, man. Appreciate it.
What was impressive is he knew who Colin Blackwell was. He called him Colin.
Well, I mean, he scored a game winner in overtime.
It's true.
So proud of you, buddy. So happy for you. Let's hang out this summer.
They're going to hang out this summer. It's going to be like Shoresy. They're going to be on the lake somewhere.
The freaking Duchess.
Happy to see you back. So happy to see you back.
Yeah, but the players see it differently, I think, a lot of the time. But that was nice. There was a lot of respect there. He's such a class act. I just wanted to show that because he's a class guy.
Yeah, I actually hadn't seen that.
Yeah, it's nice. I didn't realize he'd been mic'd up the whole time. You know, there was some stuff on the bench and when he was mic'd up. But are you still in the league?
Yeah, we did. We showed that one. We just didn't show the line because I didn't know about it.
Yeah. So this is nothing to do with the NHL. It's just a random Barstool Sports clip of some junior game, some barn somewhere, and I've been unable to identify it. And somebody goes to the goalie, and chaos ensues. I just think this is hilarious.
The screaming.
The screaming is bad. Yeah. I'd love to know what it was. It's just chaos then. There's two guys hugging and the rest are fighting.
Right. Everybody grab the dance
If
partner.
anyone knows where this is, let me know because I couldn't figure it out. I tried. I really tried. This is what I want to see in a playoff game 7 in one of these series.
I think I heard a pig squeal.
So there's, I could not read this badge at the top. It could be foreign. I mean, I suspect it's overseas, but I could be wrong. But anyway,
Yeah,
that was
could
funny.
be.
Everyone just goes for it. And I guess the only other thing I had was that news-wise, Quenneville, of course, is now back coaching for the Ducks.
For the Ducks.
Yeah, so he's not in the minor leagues. He's back coaching for the Ducks, and there was a lot of, well, you know, I didn't know about this, didn't know about that, but actually he's a great coach, so.
Teasy. Pig squealing? Then it's Alabama.
It's Alabama. Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. There's no
I guess I
screaming.
can play one more thing. I haven't watched it yet, so we'll see how cringe or not it is. But this is the best mic'd up moments from the Pro Women's Hockey League. So we'll see. We'll see how well they chirp. I guess.
I haven't seen this.
That's a good clean hit. I'm 5'2". No, get your ears checked, Comfort. Who are you? I don't even know your name. Like, I love a big hug, but I'm not here. You literally stink. This is 7. This is my 3rd shift. Relax. Send some hockey god juju something to me. Yo, tell your teammates to watch out for their skate guards, eh? Yo, okay.
And this is max volume. Sorry, guys.
These are good though.
Hit our goalie again! Hit my goalie again!
Why does she want her to hit her goalie again?
I know. What a weird thing to say. Were they singing?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh, God. She asked the referee if he would give her his big black... No, sorry.
For what? Just for fun. That's a Claire Thompson special. Cheater! Yeah, cheater! Hit the net! That's literally the biggest hand pass I've ever seen.
Guys, I have a secret. Did you guys hear that hockey's fun?
Mikey, can't wait for a pillow talk tonight.
Really?
Guys, I'm a lesbian. Some of the ones at the beginning were good. The ones at the beginning were quite good.
It got pretty bad there at the end.
The bad was mild. The beginning, there was some real chirps going on. Who are you, anyway?
Do you know how bad you stink? This is my third shift ever.
No, that was funny. That's a good comeback. Yeah, there it was. So that's another week in the playoffs. Yeah, WHL and OHL stuff and all that's going on as well. I was kind of half keeping up with it, and
we got the Worlds. Well, I mean, Team Canada. What tournament is it that's going on right now?
there is some kind of world thing going on because Fleury's going to play, isn't he? And he's like
playing.
He's like an old classic rock band that they're always on a farewell tour, and they never actually finish.
I thought it was hilarious. They announced Team Canada's captains, and it's Crosby, O'Reilly, and McKinnon, and it's like former Avs player, current Avs player, future Avs player.
Yeah.
All three captains.
There you have it. Yeah. I don't believe Teasy. I'm sorry, Teasy. I just don't believe you. This is disinformation. I'm just kidding. I'm absolutely kidding.
Confer's actually pretty good. JT Confer's sister.
Yep, some of them are pretty good.
Granado's.
I wouldn't go
Granado was pretty good. But yeah, as the playoffs wear on, of course, the show will get shorter because there is less and less games and teams to talk about.
Like
so
Logan's Tankovin, the show will get shorter.
Yep. So we're about an hour this week. I imagine next week next week Brian is out of town.
I'm out of town.
I'm going to try to get a co-host to help me out, but it'll probably be like maybe 45-minute show.
For sure.
We'll go over I don't even have access to the brackets because I'm not in
I'll have to figure out how to do that
bracket.
So so that next week, I'm going away for the weekend. So it's my 27th wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
28th since we met, but 27th wedding anniversary. And so we're going away for the weekend, also to meet some old friends that are coming over from Scotland. My oldest and dearest friend. So we're going to spend the weekend up in the Rocky Mountains. Not your Rocky Mountains, our Canadian Rocky Mountains. The real Rocky Mountains. In Banff. So anyone that's up in Banff might see me wandering around aimlessly. But just wanted to say, WHL, Western Hockey League, the Medicine Hat Tigers are currently one game up against the Spokane Chiefs. Go Medicine Hat. It's only a couple of hundred miles from me. That's nothing in the prairies. It's practically a neighbor.
Right.
And then the OHL, the Ontario Hockey League, it's especially exciting. The Oshawa Generals and the London Knights, former team of London Knights, I think Wyatt Johnston played for them, are tied at one game each in that championship. So maybe by the end of we might talk about those at some point. So there is for those games, and I'm sure there's other hockey going on. But yeah, the Marc-Andre Fleury farewell tour continues. He's like the Who; he will never retire. He'll
Yeah.
always just have
He
one
got done
last
with
tour.
the season, went home, saw his kids for like 2 or 3 days, and was like,
Yeah.
I've got to get back on the road.
So his wife said, "Are you going to mow that lawn?" And he went, "Fuck this shit, I'm out."
Screw this. I'm going to go play hockey.
Anyway, there it was. Yeah. So next week, I probably won't be around unless I'm in the chat. There's always that possibility that I'll be drunk and in the chat.
Bill's upset that you're leaving during playoffs.
Well,
I mean,
my team
technically,
might
you
be
could
out
have the
by
same
then.
commitment I had. My anniversary was last Friday, and I was still on a Senate art.
It's not the anniversary. The anniversary doesn't matter. It's the fact that I will not be at home. So yeah, I could do it on my phone, I guess, but and then again, I'll be in some bar somewhere, so it could be pretty difficult. So legalize adulthood. I mentioned the Who and who turns up, but legalize adulthood. I'm going to reply to your email, mate, but it's true. The Who are doing their farewell tour. I think the support act is going to be Marc-Andre Fleury. So
their farewell.
The farewell to the farewell. So the only thing I ever liked about hockey was the movie Slapstick. That's a different movie, probably. Slapshot was a good movie. Slapstick is a slightly different movie.
Slapstick is a type of humor.
That's right. But I do appreciate my boys on YouTube. Well, we appreciate you, my friend. And I'm sorry I wasn't there to see you if you were in Vegas. Was legalized in Vegas? Did he come up and say hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
believe he was in Vegas.
I'm
pretty sure we talked for a bit.
I'll be back. So which farewell Who shows are you going to?
Do I know if he subscribed to my channel? Not sure.
I don't know. So, but for $50, thank you, my friend. I mean, that's awesome. So I will email you. I don't. It's very awkward timing those shows, but I'll explain it in the email, as I may not even be in the country for some of them. So, because I'm illegal, so I'll be thrown out. But the Who, yes, I've been at least 3 Who farewell tours. So I was in the 82 one. That was I saw them in the 82 farewell tour. And here we are, like 60 years later, and they're still having farewell tours. But
yeah,
I'll email you, buddy. But thank you very much for that.
Well, the first 2 were farewell to their drummer.
Indeed. And then there was the farewell to the bass player.
To the bass player.
Now it's farewell to the rest of them. I would play a video. Thank you for that, but I have no idea how to do it on EVMux. So I'll play you a video. If you watch my show on Monday, Legalize, I'll play you some clips of the Who. So, and Black Sabbath are doing a gig at in Aston Villa's ground, I think. Final. How much of that Aussie will be appearing on? I don't know.
Well,
it's probably more than Dio will be
more than
appearing.
Dio. We were both going the same place.
I set that one up and you knocked it out the park. So Legalize, good to see you, buddy, and thank you for that $50. So anyway, yeah, next week I won't be around. I may be listening though. It depends where I am at the time.
Well, it looks like Nav wants to guest host either way, so we'll probably have little Chad and Nav come in.
Yeah, and I know that Dr. Jones wants to get into one of the shows probably the week after then. So
cool.
Anyway, it's not Zach Wilde, Superior. It's Zach Starkey, Ringo's son, that is the drummer. Zach Wilde would be a very different addition to the Who. Not a bad one, but a very different one. So yeah, Zach Starkey has been drumming with the Who for about 30 plus years, and he's freaking awesome. I've seen him with about 4 different bands though, in my time. Anyway, that's for another conversation for another show. My friend, tomorrow morning, obviously, you have the bullpen.
Bourbon and boarding in 12 hours and 10 minutes.
The bullpen in 12 hours.
Yeah, bullpen in 12 hours, not bourbon and boarding. We're doing that now.
Any idea of what you'll be talking about tomorrow?
We'll be discussing the new Pope a little bit. We'll be discussing the first tariff deal with Britain.
United Kingdom.
Yep. Yeah, there's a few things that we've got scheduled to discuss. So there's been a bit going on this week, and I'm trying to think if there was any other major stuff. We'll probably be going over just kind of an overall summarization of what has been going on the legal side, because Insurrection Barbie put out a huge thread that basically is all the different things that the Trump admin has been doing on the legal side of things and who they've been going after to try to correct some mistakes of the past. Oh, and Judge Jeanine Pirro being appointed the interim U.S. attorney to D.C. So that's
It's
an
pretty
interesting
funny,
one.
isn't it? Yeah.
Pulling her off of the 5 to
She's smart,
go.
though. She is smart.
And loud and pretty opinionated. And has had
I have to
fake,
think
fake
there
boobs
is an
for
element
at
of
least
trolling.
20 years that I know of.
There's an element of trolling, though, I think.
Well, yes, because the guy that he had
Ed Martin,
sent for nomination, they refused to. Even the Rhinos refused to
Tom Tillis
do anything
refused,
because of him being, soft on January 6th. So who gives a crap?
I know. Imagine being soft on those grannies walking around within those velvet ropes. Terrible.
Yep. Open the doors, let everybody walk around. I mean, the shaman led everybody in a prayer in the Senate chambers, including the cops. Whatever.
Yeah.
It was an insurrection, people. Insurrection.
Insurrection. It's a large erection. But so bullpen tomorrow morning, everybody. Monday, 3 p.m. Mountain Time. Usual time for my show. We're going to be having a show I'm really looking forward to. We're going to be talking about a movie that I remember very fondly seeing at the cinema as a young teenager, The Wild Geese, starring Richard Burton, Richard Harrison, Rod Drummond. Story of mercenaries doing something in Africa. So very controversial at the time. So great movie. That should be a ton of fun. So swing by that one, everybody, and join in the chat for that one. It'll be a lot of fun. And then the rest of the week will just be whatever it is.
Cool.
Cool indeed.
Well, everybody have a great week. We will catch you all later. And I did not set up the chat to go anywhere tonight, so go check out Zach's if you want to.
I set it up to go over to Zach's, but yeah, head over to Zach's. Or if you're on Rumble, I think he might still be on. It's my dear friend Pope Metallicus. Every Saturday night does Midnight Mass where he plays music, mainly metal, but other stuff too, on Rumble. So check Pope out if
loosely
you
called
have
music.
The chance. Loosely called music.
Very loosely.
It's awesome. I love it. He plays some great shit. But that's, hey, each to their own. Live and let live, as a famous prophet once said.
Like Mad likes boy bands.
Or if you're Roger Moore, live and let die.
If we got any mothers out there, happy Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah, happy Mother's Day.
Coming up in just a couple hours. So
yeah, it's still the greatest thing that anyone can do. If you're a woman. If you're a man, not as good, but
it's making somebody a mother.
Yes, making somebody a mother is the best. So good night,
Cheers, everybody. Have a good one.